The Super Bowl is inching closer and closer, and many fans are making their way down to Los Angeles to prepare for the big game. Of course, we have our reporters over there covering everything you need to know about the Super Bowl. Let's catch up with Eli Rosenberg on what he's been seeing. What is it like down there? What's the atmosphere? What's the stadium like?
Well, this is LA, right? So it takes a lot to move the needle, but I think this stadium does. It is really unique on a couple of different fronts here. First of all, we are really in the shadow of LAX. So they had to build this stadium low to the ground. So what they actually did was dig 100 feet down. So most of the stadium is actually below ground. So when you go to Gillette, kind of walk in and walk up to your seat. Here you actually walk in ground level and walk down to your seat. So a lot of the bowl is below ground. Also, who knew? We're actually near a fault line, an earthquake fault line. It's a thing down here in Southern California. So what they did is they actually built the stadium in a couple of parts that are independent of each other. So what you have is the bowl is one part, and the roof is an entirely different part built on a little bit of springs in case there is ever an earthquake.
The prices. I know usually for Super Bowls, people are paying so much money. How is it this year?
You want to take a guess?
You know what? I'm not super knowledgeable on prices, but I'm going to guess, let's say cheapest tickets, $300.
Probably $3,400 just to get you in the door.
What? Just to get in? That's the lowest?
Lowest. In the door, $3,400.
Wow.
Now, if you want a good seat, prime seat, VIP seat, we're talking over $25,000 for about 3.5 hours of football. Excitement is definitely building as we get closer and closer to Sunday's kickoff. We're seeing more and more fans. This is funny. So we were doing a ticket price story earlier about how much it costs to get in. You were shocked right there. So we thought, why don't we go downtown LA and find Bengals fans and Rams fans to ask them. The first 3 fans we saw on the streets of LA, they were all wearing Patriots jerseys. A lot of Patriots fans down here in LA, so it was great to catch up with them. But yeah, a lot of excitement ahead of the game on Sunday.
Well, that's great. It's good to know we got our fans down there. It's good to know I'll need to take out a loan if I ever want to see a Super Bowl game.
Why don't you just Zoom me or FaceTime me on Sunday? I'll let you in the stadium with me.
Then it's like I'm there. It's almost as good as being there. That's what we're learning throughout the pandemic. Being remote is almost as good as being there in person.
How about some nachos in front of the phone?
And we have Tom Curran waiting on some big Hall of Fame news that may include a familiar face for New Englanders.
What's up, Rob? Tom Curran. I'm at Radio Row in Los Angeles. Beautiful day outside, but I'm inside. And one story I'm tracking is whether or not Richard Seymour, former Patriots defensive lineman, gets his call to the Hall. The Hall of Fame announcement will be Thursday night, the NFL Honors event. So keep your eyes peeled to see if Big C93 gets into the Hall of Fame tonight.
That's all I got for you today, but we have so much more Super Bowl coverage coming your way. Make sure to check it out on air on NBC 10 Boston, online on NBC10Boston.com, or on your favorite streaming device on the NBC 10 Boston app.